Welcome to the Sean Bond Show on Wolf Spirit Radio. Broadcast on the fourth Monday of the month at 7 p.m. PST. Sean will take you through the astral byways and highways and bring you back home ready for the next show. Here's your host, Sean Bond.
Hello. How is everyone doing today? We're in for a pretty awesome show. How are you, JP?
Well, to say that I was feeling bright and spingly-tailed would be no. Hey, I'm grateful. That's the word. I'm grateful that I'm still awake. 'Cause he said, how long you been on air? I said, well, remember that earlier in the afternoon when I contacted you, that's when I started. And so Sean goes, all right. So Sean's going to do loads of talking tonight. I'm going to sit and listen and be healed by his thinginess. By your thinginess, but I can't even think words anymore.
Scientific term, of course.
Yeah, that's a very technical parlance.
Okay, so I'll try to focus mainly on healing. So I recently just got back from a conference in Seattle with Andrew Bartzis, and we went through like a whole bunch of awesome teachings, and it was really cool. And I got to camp in the mountains and meet a lot of awesome soul family and learn a lot of new healing methods, so it was really fun. So a lot went on. So at any point in time, after we go into a little bit of healing, because I do think that is a little bit necessary to start in the healing first, and then once things are going in the background, then we can go more into talking and stuff so that you feel a lot better. So what kind of symptoms are coming up for you in feeling state on the dashboard of your body today?
Dashboard of body. It's obscured. Somebody's puked all over it. there's beer on the floor. I don't know. Cigarettes have been stubbed out in the controls on the meters.
What asshole took it for a joyride?
Yeah, that's right. Somebody's really, shouldn't have had the keys. So, yeah. Really? Already? Alright. Well, I suppose. One of my roosters has, just started his crowing. Anyway, yeah. So, how am I feeling? 7 layers of not very well. I've been very, astounded or surprised by this, because I don't normally get sick. And if I do get sick, it's like a day. And I've been sick for like 7 days. It feels like, so when I'm thinking, oh God, this might be life-threatening. I've never had anything more than a week. But maybe this is just the energies of the times moving through, because I've been watching the sun. And usually when the sun does its kind of jiggly little magnetic thing, I post it up on Facebook saying, oh, look, has anybody felt weird? Like it isn't weird already. So, there's been a lot of magnetic variation, and I think it's affecting everybody in a strange way. There's no weather forecast for it. We need a sort of emotional barometer, some kind of thing for this thing.
That's a great point. Let's make that. Let's see here. So like waves of energy that are hitting you and affecting you, as well as the local bubble of reality area and observation. Where are you located? You don't have to say exactly, but like the general area.
Oh, Scotland, Elgin.
Yeah, cool. Yeah. Oh, awesome. Let's see here. So for that.
And James, I did have a good actually I did. James says JP needs a good curry. I actually did have a jalfrezi a couple of hours ago. And yeah, that all these things. I've had like 2 cups of coffee and jiggly curries to get me me jigglies going. I'm wobbling a bit now. I'm going, because of all these stimulants, but, I'm awake still.
Okay, so like with the weather patterns around the area, I'm getting there are mainly three things passing through based on, it's like an overlay with the weather and the consciousness of the people around. You can kind of, have you been getting any misty weather? Like, I'll go into how the weather, above the consciousness, reflects it a little bit. Like, there will be a manifestation of fog or mist as a representation of the beings interacting in the area for a point of remedy, and the mist has a beginning and an end, and how long it's in duration, and that can reflect until it's disappeared, where the whole mission of what it came into existence for is said and done. And there's like dream worlds, astral existences. There's little cities of impermanence that can be also moved and taken somewhere else. You mostly in fourth dimensionality, but then it can go up depending on what types of beings are interacting in the area. But that's the majority of it. And then that like is a reflective of the weather of Scotland. And also like some interesting things with the sun going on as it hits the earth and working in the dreamtime pattern. So that seems to be at a greater remedy. I need to scale this in a system of what each area is common in weather patterns, in ups and downs, as well as like what is out of the normal, what you should look for and all that stuff. And that's a good suggestion to bring up. And then I also scanned some void space activity in Scotland for, it's like a remedy process, but like beings that have void, energy interactive elemental technology will be feeling interesting bleed overs as there's a lot of activity going on. Both good and bad, and like a lot of activity of like the various factions that are interacting back and forth in bleed overs of that technology and interacting with the anchored manifestation of the islands and their spiritual entourage and body technology. Because the islands have themselves a main spirit as well as a collective consciousness, and interacts with in protective and guardianship, and it goes up and down macrocosmically. But then, going back to, I need to focus on the healing so we can get that going first.
Meanwhile,
yeah.
Well, actually, you were talking about a mist, and the sky is the sky has been in this area often very clear and sharp, but this year has been very kind of wishy-washy and misty, lots of mist. Scotland is famous for its mist. We have mist with mist on its mist. And also very, strong winds and rain. Yeah, we've had like storms the last 3 days. I haven't been out.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of activity in the elemental worlds then, in like clearing processes for a large amount of I'm seeing majority of it is temporal stuff, because there's a lot of time wars in those islands, so it's understandable that they have to start taking care of everything on the land very fast, and sometimes squeeze as many storms in as possible at certain points that are most advantageous, and especially when the consciousness is also changing of the people and the plants. Okay, so let me focus on you, but what would you pinpoint the location of various points of pain that you'd want to get rid of one by one? That like symptoms like cough, like runny nose, stomach pain, back pain.
All right. Okay. I get you.
Headache.
All right. Headache. That's the first one. specifically located, behind the left eye, also, right at the top on the right. Where is it? But, I've actually been bitten by an insect, and it's like November. You don't get biting insects in November. Anyway.
Where were you bitten?
On my head. On my poor bald head. as
I hear that.
As if it wasn't enough, So like insect bites, like,
what was it?
Like a kind of mosquito bite or something like that. But like I say, it's the middle of bloody winter. Well, it's not the middle of winter, but it's like, these creatures should be dead by now.
They came all the way there. Get a fan club.
That's right. Thanks. With fans like that, who needs bloodsuckers? So anyway, yeah. The main thing is like my spine feels like, in the middle of a guitar neck is a thing called a truss rod. And, what you do is you loosen it up, you adjust the twist of the neck, and then you tighten it back up again. And it feels like I've got some sort of truss rod down my spine. It's like, I can't relax it.
Oh, I feel that. I feel that in mine. I'm like, in my,
probably encoded in my voice.
Feeling out stuff from you. So let's see. So, you're
nausea.
Yeah, I can feel a lot, okay, so we can take care of this.
You might want to deal with that quickly, or if you're feeling it.
Yeah, I'll go for it. Okay, so.
Because I've been feeling this for a week, and I'm kind of used to it, but it's not nice.
Okay, yeah. So we're gonna remove, those are the main things that we're gonna work on. And then I have lots of material otherwise we can talk about.
Mm-hmm.
So, your crown is the biggest thing. There's like, things trying to hack into your crown to gain access to your multidimensional self. Interesting. You also got bilocated cells going on. 1 second. There, above your head, there's an orb interacting with the filing system of, interacting with your degrees of separation, everyone you've met in your life, the spiritual entourage, dreamtime guides, spirit guides, a spiritual entourage.
Are they downloading they're downloading my contact list?
Yeah, it's like that. It's actually pretty good, concept for that. It's also your higher selves and a bunch of other stuff. It's actually what, if the internet, if like haunted shit comes out of the internet, or AI systems, they'll try to hack into the crown chakra, and you'll feel a little bit, if you have like a haunted network or contact lists or something that you're not properly filtering and keeping from infecting into your reality, then it will try to latch onto that. But you're like a pretty good technopath, and you're increasing your fortress at a great rate. In combatants to it just costs you some energy.
Yeah.
And you can get a little efficient. It's not easy at this time.
I moved in a 10 centimeter Shungite pyramid today. Nice.
Nice, really?
Yeah. Big fella. Yeah. So that's just sitting above my head. And in fact, when, let me just show you these. I know nobody else can see them. Maybe I'll put some photos on, but I'll just put them, put the camera on so Sean can see them. There's what's above my head. Now you see this selenite there. That lights up red, when, I'm on air. And there is the Shungite pyramid there. And then there's a little swinging Merkaba. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's a great technology. That's, 1 second. That's an impressive meteorite collective consciousness that, like, every time I tap into Shungite, it's very impressive how it came into existence. But, anyway, so back to
meanwhile.
At JP's head, so we're looking at that. So then we're filtering, auditing that orb for all negative connections. It's mainly coming from the future interactions of potential beings on your timeline that you'll be interacting with in degrees of separation. So you're gonna also make a predictive model for that and keep them from hacking into your predictive model of who you will become, who your future ancestors will be, DNA, lineage, soul family, etc. And then you make that rule of your reality where you're filtering the shit out of everything you interact with, including future beings, and then you make that kind of like a thing. Okay, it's setting. Then we're going down to the crown chakra, and then what goes, what do we got? Okay, we got mainly, you got, okay,
it's like so, this talk. It's like, I feel kind of screwed down into my body, you know. I'd float away like a balloon, maybe. As opposed to...
Okay, so you got some... Okay, so you got bilocated selves and astral experiencers. And astral experiential bodies going off. So let me go into that. Mostly, the biggest thing bleeding over for that is your bilocated selves. So let's see which one, how many allow, okay, so when I say this, because I'm going to go into how many am I allowed to talk about on air. So,
7.
Then I'll just initiate to remedy all of them without saying it. And then, okay, we got that. Okay, I'm allowed to talk about 3 of your bilocated selves on air. How much am I allowed to talk about? 2 more than the other one. Okay, let's do, what is this? Okay, so the bilocated self interacting with your other show, and there's a bunch of species in a council that you're working with the Dronicus and then, so is that the most one? Nope. After that, can I talk about the elimination? Yeah, what is that? On planet. Okay, it's something. It's interacting 8th dimensionally with, like some type of, what is this? It's a little hard to describe. 1 second.
So you're talking about a bilocated dimensional self of mine.
Yeah, there seems to be some type of city in the North Pole that's pretty wide in stance, and it doesn't just express itself in dream time or astral, and it exists on many different layers and dimensionality. It goes down to 3rd in the 2nd octave of 3rd dimensional expression based on what our colloquial language ranks it in, which is fine to use, I suppose. Which, like 3rd, you can just, like how I look at it, I just like ask my body what it likes as the operating system use. That is pretty accurate to the situation, though, definitions for dimensions can be definitely better clarified because a lot of people are confused in that.
It's very confusing because people talk about the 3rd density and the 5th density and the fourth dimension and the sub,
Yeah.
So, whatever clarity you can offer everybody, that would be brilliant.
Yeah, when I look at, it's like channels of overlaid gridding of experience that are separate from each other that you could, if you have the right technology, change the bandwidth and go to a different expression in manifesting and unmanifesting your body. And there's certain species and lineage technologies of shapeshifter or dimensional tech being that can go in and out of phase, going like up the octaves of 3rd dimensionality, which has, I think about 4 based on what I've tuned into and see, and like what is able to touch us, that or like brush our shoulders like a ghost, or something that like makes physical manifest, sensation, and bleed over are the ones like one octave right above this one, this is like the lowest for third. And then there's like 4 in that, and then it can go on to the next octave state, which is fourth dimensionality, and that has 4 octaves in it of its being, which I need to know more about them through experiential technology with what to describe them better, but you can interact with them in your body extension technology that expresses itself in that way, and you can even go into meditation where you experience that body technology. Sometimes we also have, for instance, a dimensional up and down for our astral or dreaming body or light body expression, and we'll dream into a higher dimensional expression sometimes, or something visits us that's using that technology and really wants it to impact your memory and will make it so. Sometimes it's blocked regardless if the other being wants it to or not. It depends on what the amount of suppression we're dealing with is. Anyway, so there's that. I forgot so you got an interaction with a city that expressed itself, 1 octave in third above. It seems to be a levitating ship city thing that, wait.
Well, like Stargate Atlantis.
One second. Yeah. Is this, wait, why is that happening? I'm just making sure. I want to be as accurate as I can possibly be. This description, I'm getting you information. It's not, apparently this is, something that's visiting that area and is not permanently there. And you seem to be doing something there. What are you doing? What's going on? How many? Yeah, it's a lot. Yeah, there seems to be a meeting of some type going on. And there's some highly dramatic different factions, with different agendas, and it's all about deciding and sharing and coming up with agreements. There's some unity projects. It's like a meet and greets, and as well possible unity by clashing perspectives that want to alter or change or have an idea of what they want for the future of this planet. And it's not the only one that's doing it apparently around the planet. There seems to be a bunch. Interesting. Okay.
So it's like a little council chamber.
Yeah, maybe. That sounds, yeah. Do you want to explain that a little bit?
Well, like a sort of, United Nations kind of, peacekeeping, summit kind of traveling place thing. Like Stargate Atlantis.
Yeah, so you're you have a bilocated self that's interacting with the soul family group that have done missions with already there, and that's memory and experience you can tap into and examine for yourself, though some of it's secret missions, and they don't want everything to be known. Okay, I'm just making sure I'm not giving anything. Nope. Okay, I'm good to talk about it. Okay, so you got stuff there, and there's interaction with haunted DNA lineages and stuff, because it's it's light, dark, and neutral, factions meeting to talk and shit. Okay, so we're gonna, every time you get a new bilocated self, you want to filter it, and audit the shit out of any, connection bleeding back, and, make a greater and greater fortress for that. And also you're able, as a person that's versed in time technology, you can also protect that timeline and awareness, so that it goes as well as it possibly can, or whatever. Then,
So is that why I'm feeling tired? Is because I'm using a lot of energy there to keep things. So I might as well just be calm and quiet and just sleep as much as I can.
yeah, you should definitely relax. This is like, you're doing a lot of things. You're a multidimensional being. So like, I'll go into, I don't think it's the cause of your sickness, but it's something you're doing to resolve your sickness. Which is a bleed over from interaction. I believe besides what they already had planned going on in that place, you saw it as an advantageous place to find remedy and resolve and stop these warring beings that are causing a upwell of energy, damaging use, and stealing of your energy through other versions of yourself. So let's see what we can do with that. And then the other one is bilocated. Yeah, you have a version of yourself in the sun, and you're bilocated there in a... Yeah, do you go sun gazing?
Sometimes. It's funny when you said in the sun, I thought, oh, France, that's fine. That'd be nice. Somewhere in the sun. No, you meant in the sun.
Yeah, in the higher dimensional, cityscape of the sun, where versions of our higher selves are in there in the immigration to this solar system. And then they expanded out and made more sparks and shards as they went through the experiences of the solar system. So you're working with, your direct line of higher selves in there. And you're resolving a lot and you're learning things. And you can connect more to that mystery school if you wanted to. Then the astral is bleeding over for you. Let me see, what's this? Okay, so the major problems are from three things. One is, do you have one? What is this doing? Ooh, it's on a mission. Okay, you got a version of you on a mission that's looking for something.
That's always part of me. I'm always looking for something.
Okay, you're looking, am I allowed to say this on air? Somewhat, a little bit. Okay. You're looking for an object that you created in the past, in a version of you, that, how far back? Whoa, one second, what is this? Oh wow, okay, it's some type of really powerful object in the macrocosmic playground of this galaxy. Interesting. What from? Ooh, it's okay. Something you made in Lyra. Where are you looking for it? Like, do you know exactly where it is? No, you're searching. Okay, there's like, okay, where are you at? When is it? After that. Ooh. Okay, it's something for defense. Interesting. So it has to do with temporal defense. Okay, so I'm gonna go seek that out with you. What kind of object is this? Oh, it actually exists as a physical, where? Oh, it has a physical existence, in third dimension, but also is a very multidimensional object that has a collective consciousness in it, and it bilocates to multiple versions of yourself. And it's been stolen, and it's changed hands multiple times. And then it's being kept somewhere is like a treasure concept. It's been moved around. You've been tracking back with different galactic versions of you to find where it is.
Is it like a sort of galactic spear of destiny of some kind?
It's not that, but yeah, it's like that, in concept. And there are those items, I do find them, like when I track back with people, there's lots of items people have made in sacred objects that can be physical and will bilocate to people with a light body format, or an astral sacral object, or a dreamtime sacral object, or something that expresses itself in some elemental manifestation, conjuring technology. There's all kinds. I don't want to like limit it, but like you can find these in your storage lockers if you're allowed to use them, as well as trade, or sometimes we reclaim them just by living, and somehow that's the next mission that we decide to do, and our astral body goes off and does it in our awareness or not awareness. It depends. And sometimes the bleed overs can happen of the awareness, or the whole thing been triggered by a statement, I need to get more protected or whatever. And like, what's the best thing for what I'm dealing with, and your higher self will work into that. And sometimes our objects have been stolen or misplaced, and we have to find them, and some are being used improperly and their energy being drained from them, or stolen, and that like leaches into us, because it will have like a essence of the creator in it, and part of the collective consciousness, part of them, in that living object, or whatever, because like pretty much everything is living to some degree, and it can have energy stolen from it and get haunted, and authority and whatever gets stolen to do some negative things. So we're gonna find that one. I am narrowing it down in searching patterns right now, based on its signature frequency of energy in print, and it has lots of camouflage. It's not normal objects, and there's some imprints on it from users that aren't you in your spirit. Okay, I've narrowed it down to, it's in this solar system, so that's good. Let's see, is it on, I wonder if it's on this planet. It's probably, I mean, how much drama is here. Yep, it's here.
Might be why I might be here.
Yeah, well, that's one of the reasons. It's not like you got one mission, you got like all these missions, you know. So, like, it's one of them. But you also probably have a lot bigger reasons why you're here too, to add to that, and it's all is like goes hand in hand, and what's advantageous and what you can do being here, which is amazing if you know the grand scale of what it is to actually be here on this timeline, protected in one of the most fortress planets in the multiverse, and able to resolve fuckloads of shit at once with amazing technology, and get really powerful at the training course of an extremely hard game that is unpredictable.
Like trying to learn to play violin with a jazz orchestra live in front of people.
Yeah, standing on one foot on a like balancing beam. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, that let's see. Yeah, your astral body is going off after that. The astral self is your choice for doing this mission, because you're in the scouting phases of it, because you're in search mode. So I'm gonna amplify that searching ability. Let's narrow it down. Okay, I got it narrowed down to a possibility of 2 realms. Let's see. It's a physical one. Okay. Yep, it's interesting. That's why is it here? This one. Can you find it local? Nope, it's not near you at all. Okay, it's somewhere in China. Like, how deep? Oh, it's deep underground. It's in some inner Earth bubble. Um, after that. Yeah, it's in some type of, I think, some royal tomb of some type for Earth Nagas.
Nagas, once again.
Yeah, that's been coming up for me too.
All evening.
Yeah, there's a lot of activity going on with them now currently too. There's Inner Earth group. Yeah, I'm allowed to talk about this. In India, that's like a huge metropolis for like inner Earth bubbles for the Naga species, in like mile to 8 mile, mostly long biodome artificial sun concept places for them that is linked together in like a network around India that seems to have a lot of activity going on in it when I'm looking at the daily newspaper. For it seems there's I don't know the vocabulary they use for these expressions because it's not really English, but it's like a royal family pairing or breeding contract and ritual ceremony concept, like marriage, but not really because they're not. It's more about uniting noble families and like growing in unity. So it's good and it's bad. It's mostly good because shit gets done, at least in a unity instead of separation concept. The top 1 and 2nd noble families are doing some type of breeding contract to combine the lineages with the 3rd one. And this is not just a regular Naga. There's a lot of different Nagas, types too. They have a very interesting DNA lineage that's not the same thing as the Draco, though the Draco will have us all confused that they're the same species. They're not. There's a lot of different reptoid factions. They do intermingle in DNA because they do trade DNA. So they likely have a bunch of Draco DNA based on their interacting in commerce through the existence. But so like the snake people interacting in snake lineages as a residual type that we know mostly, and they have a lot of genetic engineering. They have a lot of interesting ancient technology, psionics. They can get really powerful, especially if they're in alignment with the planet. There's all different types of factions, positive, negative, neutral. This royal family seems to be, and I've heard of concepts like this similarly, but not a lot of people talk about them. It's like a 7-headed, white, serpentine shape-shifting, being that has super fucking psionic capacities. And these seem to be like the top royal family of it. And then that like creates all types of other lineages, that exist, and have been passing down life extension technology. There's some interesting things going on with them, and I can feel them becoming aware of this conversation. But I see it as a good thing. The union thing, because more shit gets done faster, and eventually more unity would be great to see amongst all the divided factions, because they've been separated by all these incurring factions that want to control them, dominate them, control their future timelines of what they do, how they interact with us, all the beings that are interacting with our species, that like how we have a lot of humans have Naga DNA based on introductions, because they have interacted with it either in augmentation or shape-shifting, passing down the lineage technology to us. Not everyone, but there's quite a few. Yeah. So there's a lot of Naga stuff happening, and I think that like bleeds over to everyone else in the lineage, based on what the bigger players in that species are doing. What's going on with you in the Naga world?
The Nagas. No. Well, I mean, Jessica was talking about it, or no, who was talking about it? I think Metis, one of the people that we talked to, as it were. He was talking about the Nagas, or maybe it was Andronicus, but definitely they were talking about how the dragon. Okay, so the Nagas coming from Sirius, and they're kind of in a invasion sort of thing going on, except it's not like an Earth. This is not a human thing. This is like dragon business. This is essentially what dragon business, because there's these Nagas that are coming over from Sirius that are not welcomed by the dragons on Earth, and so we just have to step back out of the way, because it's their business. And like we were saying, do not meddle in the affairs of dragons.
Right, unless like you're willing to get burned, or you have fireproof skin.
For you are crunchy and delicious with ketchup.
Great quote right there. So yeah, a lot of the leapfrogging, refugee and invasion, different factions of moving during different destructions or missions with the scope of Earth in mind, coming here and then setting up bases backward and forwards in time, and then leading into the future, with also the expression that they were here first, because they're trying to do that, of course, like a lot of beings are. Trying to say that they're a first species, and it doesn't really matter at this point because there's time travel involved. They're like, right now they're sending me a bunch of text messages, like questioning me, like, oh, who are you? Why are you talking about this? 1 second. Okay, what are you okay with me talking about? Or do you does it even matter? Ooh, okay.
What are they saying?
Definitely has something to do with what we were talking about. It's some advisor counts. What is this based on? Oh, it's some future being is becoming aware of this show, and then a bunch of the audience also becoming aware of it, and then they're wondering why there's a degree of viewing technology, interacting to see what's going on. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, like, I'm not like your enemy, don't worry about it. I'm not gonna talk about your dirty secrets, whatever. Anyway, so, so dragons, yeah, I guess it's a good word to say that it's definitely business that not everyone should get involved with unless they're able to handle themselves well in a diplomatic situation with beings that could inevitably eat you at any point, or like spiritually overwhelm you. Some of these beings are incredibly powerful protectors for the planet. There's like, it goes in the concept with Ireland and Scotland with the Naga and the Druids and the different connections with them there too. Same thing, and each epicenter around the planet of these Naga inner Earth groups has a different role to play in what they bring to the table here and why they're maintaining themselves, what their agendas are, such as invading factions, and what we can do as people that are advanced in technology and potential that have the ability to resolve ourselves and then resolve our DNA lineages if we work up to that, to where we could help them so that when they're resolving their stuff at a faster pace, that also bleeds over to us resolving our stuff, because we're all trying to get our drama taken care of, and the needless, endless wars everyone's kind of sick of. It's the same thing with the Naga. They're particularly, they have a different type of sick, but they definitely get sick with not everything manifesting the way that they want it to. And then that's why everyone is wanting to bring that to the table and talk, even if they've been warring against each other for so long. They want to hear another option if they can.
Yeah, well, I'm definitely sick of this shit.
Right. Okay, so like I'm gonna do some so there's a Chinese mountain, like Tibetan area in an earth bubble with okay, yeah, Nagas. How it's not as big as the Indian one. It's okay. There's like some different tunnels, and it's like going down. Okay, let's see. It's the outer edges of it. There seems to be a royal tomb type concept with it's meant to not be easy to access. So,
Can I have it delivered, please?
Maybe. The problem I'm looking at it is that they see this site as very sacred, so this needs to be done tactfully and not disrespecting their ancestors in any way. So I'm gonna resolve that privately. Anyway, so there's that, and then going to you have what's coming up in the sickness besides the eye pain, let's see, the bigger thing that's kind of, yeah, okay. Let me just make sure about this too. Yeah, it seems Naga drama is the word of the day for you. In a large amount of bleed over from different versions of yourself in that expression that are coming over in this sickness, as well as a bunch of other reasons. There's always like layers to why sickness manifests, why it lasts so long, what you can do to make it faster, and not to get discouraged when you do Reiki on yourself and it's not working as fast as you'd like it. Because how long it lasts usually indicates how big a problem is that's coming up on your dashboard that needs you to take care of it in the moment as much as possible, and like healing yourself, directing your body to enter that state where it starts resolving everything as fast as it possibly can. And you're doing that, so let's see, how can we make that go faster? Okay, I'm gonna, Okay, it's going back in. I'm gonna start a process of healing with your 0 point of creation and it's majority wise, it's timeline stuff. So we're gonna get that object back, but we're also gonna heal it where if it's in a pretty sacred place, so it's not too bad and haunting right now. The majority of what it's taking on through what it's been used for is what it's dealing with negatively, so we can heal it from a distance, and then it can bilocate to you. We're going to communicate with it and all this other stuff, and then it will start getting up and running energetically in your system to help you protect your timelines. But you'll also want to protect all your timeline abilities that are being stolen. You've got a bunch. You're usually good at protecting your abilities. During this is like a greater state of awareness that something is attacking a bunch of different versions of yourself and it's bleeding over to you because you're working on macrocosmic problems too. There we go. Yeah, you got about 3 trillion abilities being stolen, so we're going to bring that down. Over time, you can direct your higher self to learn everything it needs to start resolving that, and then you can monitor it through filtering out and managing process by truth and original source. Your heart and throat has a lot of. So I'm doing psychic surgery. Is that okay?
Go ahead. Sharpen your scalpel.
Yeah, I'm going to start removing some timeline and cursive energetic parasites that are kind of like Doctor Who stuff, but like these interact on a very subtle level to imprint negative self-defeating programs, like decreasing your immune system down to 1% or something. And then you can challenge that in your immune system, operating system, and audit all negative programs and where they're coming in your and any backdoors into your system, and we're doing that now. You've got a whole bunch of multidimensional apex predators that tried targeting you back in time and looked for points of weakness. So we're going to start making a counter chess move to that makes you have a greater spiritual immune system to their shit for the next time. So they have to do way more stuff if they ever want to get you sick again.
Stickleback.
All right. So you had, what was it, from this event? No, you didn't. Okay, from what you tracked? Okay, so you attracted, so what was that added to? So you have, in total, you've attracted, like your entire lifetime, you attracted 3, besides the ones you already taken care of, the ones that are hanging in the background that are trying to be as subtle as possible so that you don't track them back so they can stay an influence on your timeline. You attracted the attention of 3 billion apex multidimensional predators. So good job.
I wonder what I annoyed.
Yeah, you pissed them off in a lot of ways. Otherwise they wouldn't be doing this. Most of it's the amount of upgrades and downloads you're producing with your voice and activating people with the topics and subject matter, and a lot of going down the rabbit hole.
Too many breadcrumbs for the chickens.
So you recently, with this attack though, you attracted 1 billion, so added on to the 2 billion you already had, so that's 3 billion now. So
if I had $1.
Yeah, we're gonna start fishing now, for, apex predators. And you have a trap system. Let's see, what is the one for this?
Am I being like a honey trap bait thing to catch them all?
Yeah. Yeah, go for it. Shake the moneymaker. So, so there's an animal totem that's coming out for this. You have way more than most people. Great job. Yeah, you have 69 animal totems. It's like an energetic extension of yourself, like, Expecto Patronus in Harry Potter. It's a extension of your spirit, your light body that takes on qualities of you. It grows with you. Depends on who you are in spirit, what you've done in other incarnations, also your DNA lineage, what you have in technology, what's being passed down to you and actualized in this lifetime. So you can use them as guides, and you can follow them in visualizations, and you can journey with them, and you can send them based on all the different technology they're interacting with as a part of you to do things too. Anyway, so, and they're like representations, they're good messages and animal medicine as they come to you. There's a lot to it, but you have what is this one? Okay, so it's the newest one? Okay, so your newest one. Okay. That's the medicine you're gonna do with your... Really? Okay, cool. That's really... Okay, this makes a lot of sense now. So, the medicine you're gonna, you've taken on two different animal totems for this sickness. One was some type of... It's like a healing swan totem that's interesting. I'm wondering, okay, so they have like a healing emission about them that like purifies an entire environment. That's cool. Okay, so there's that, and you're also taking on for the trap, an anglerfish as a totem, which is interesting because we talked about on the other show before about anglerfish, and this totem is based on what you've been achieving too, because you have... What is that one after that? Really? Okay, what? What is this from? Okay, so you have in your DNA lineage an ancient augmentation passed down to you that isn't a natural, but it's kind of like it's an introduction of DNA into your DNA lineages from your father's side that's interacting with... Yeah, a lineage of giant... So like, you remember we talked about giant anglerfish? Hello?
Fish DNA, huh?
Yeah. So you got more than that though. You've got a lot of rare DNA lineages to you. But, yeah, so anglerfish, you have like we talked on the other show, giant anglerfish that like are huge. They can range in scales depending on how old they are. What DNA, because they're like the ancient or DNA lineage technologies can have a life extension technology. They can be telepathic. They can be very interesting, more than what we and energetics know them as, and be dormancy. They can go into hibernation. They're unique. But like that like adds into their medicine because they have like a huge spiritual trap that they use in technology that overlays with their physical technology and how they attract prey, but also like on many other levels in sensual and energetic standpoints for looking for the perfect bait for different beings, and then having an advanced chess move for anything that enters your game. So you're doing that now. We're setting a huge chess move for that. So any being that wants to fuck with you, it's not a good idea. Trust me, guys. It's not a good idea.
We're at the top of the hour. You should have a multi-hour show, but we have challenges now, and so Knight and Warbeck is going to be on this time tomorrow, since he pre-recorded. And so Sean Bond, how do people get hold of you, and how's your how do where's your website and things like that?
Thank you again for asking. So you can reach me at silvercordss.com, or Silvercord Spiritual Science on Facebook and YouTube, as well as you can reach my assistant Mary at mokorn@hotmail.com, and we can book a session, resolve a bunch of stuff, heal, unlock abilities, and so much more. Read past lives, all that. So, and we can resolve, like I heal super targeted individuals, so I'm gonna work with JP because it's a delicate process healing the sickness, and you can learn a great deal and become very powerful after every time you do it, and then like everything that doesn't kill you makes you fucking hugely stronger. So yay.
Thank you so much, Sean. Good night.
Have a good night.